If your doctor told you your labs are normal, but you still feel exhausted, foggy, bloated, puffy some mornings, and you just can't explain why, or just off in a way you can't quite put a finger on, you've probably Googled it at midnight more than once. Stick around because I'm about to walk you through 40 symptoms, yes, 40, that point to inflammation your standard blood work isn't catching. Not because your doctor missed something, but because routine labs were never built to catch it. I'm Mindy Kidder, and I'm a registered nurse for over 30 years and a functional diagnostic nutrition practitioner. Quick note, this is for educational purposes only and not medical advice. Always work with your own provider. Most routine labs check maybe 5 inflammatory markers. Yes, 5. But inflammation shows up in dozens of quieter ways. Ways that get written off as stress, aging, or just life after 50. Today, I'm breaking this into 8 different categories, head to toe, so you can start noticing your own pattern. Grab something to write with and take some notes because you're going to want to count these. And stick around to the end and I'll tell you exactly what to do with that number. First, energy and sleep. This is the one you feel every single day. You wake up tired even after a full 8 hours of sleep. An afternoon crash, especially that 2 to 4 p.m. slump that hits you like a wall. You're wired but tired at bedtime, exhausted, yet your brain just won't shut off. You need caffeine just to function. Not to enjoy it, but just to survive your own morning. And waking up between 2 and 4 a.m. regularly, wide awake, no reason. That's the kind of tired that sleep alone just doesn't fix. That 2 to 4 a.m. wake up, that cortisol and blood sugar talking to each other, inflammation disrupting the exact rhythm that's supposed to keep you asleep. If that's you, it's not insomnia, it's chemistry. Next, the one you probably blame on food. Bloating after meals that shouldn't cause it. Constipation one day, loose the next. No rhyme or reason. Feeling worse after foods you used to tolerate just fine. Gas or swollen belly that shows up by evening. Heartburn with no clear trigger you can even point to. That's the kind of bloat that makes you dread getting dressed. Your gut holds most of your immune system, approximately 70% of it to be exact. So when digestion keeps acting up, inflammation is often showing up there first, before it ever lands anywhere else. Your skin is a mirror. Adult acne, especially along the jawline. Eczema or rashes that flare up and you can't even explain why. Skin that's suddenly reactive, sensitive to products you used to love. Slow wound healing, a scrape that used to close in days now takes weeks. Puffiness in the face, especially first thing in the morning. And that's the kind of thing you start covering up instead of asking about. Your skin is the largest organ you have. It reflects what's happening underneath in real time. Jawline acne, morning puffiness, not random, not just getting older. Now the ones people blame on themselves. Brain fog, words that won't come when you need them. Anxiety with no clear cause you can point to. Irritability that feels out of proportion to what's actually happening. Trouble focusing on things that used to be easy for you. Low mood that doesn't match your life. Nothing's wrong, you just don't feel right. That's the kind of fog that makes you doubt your own mind. Inflammation crosses into the brain. It slows the signal, like static on a phone line. That fog, that anxiety, that's not you failing. It's often a chemical message. If you've already checked off several of these, here's the category most people forget entirely, and it's often the loudest one in the room. We're halfway. You're doing great. Keep counting. Quick pause, because I don't want you to miss this. If you've already spotted a few of these in yourself, hit that like button right now. It's the fastest way to help others find this video. And if you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that too. I post something like this every single week. Know someone who needs this? Send it to them right away so they can watch it later. Okay, back to the list. Morning stiffness that eases up once you start moving. Aches that move around. One day it's your knee, the next day it's your shoulder. Muscle soreness with no workout to explain it. Grip strength feeling off. Jars are suddenly harder to open. Tendon and ligament pain that lingers longer than it should. That's the kind of ache that makes you feel decades older than you truly are. That morning stiffness that gets better as you move, that's inflammation cooling down as circulation picks up. This one hits everybody. It just shows up differently depending on your hormones. For women, worsening PMS or brand new perimenopause symptoms showing up out of nowhere. For men, motivation and drive that quietly drops off out of nowhere too. For women, hot flashes, more intense than you'd expect. For men, night sweats or feeling overheated with no reason why. Low libido with no clear cause shows up for both men and women. Hair thinning, in women this could be at your crown or temples. For men, it's the hairline or crown. For women, a cycle that's suddenly irregular after years of predictability. For men, energy and mood swinging in a pattern you could set a clock to. That's the kind of shift that makes you feel like a stranger in your own body. Inflammation and hormones talk constantly, in both men and women. When one gets inflamed, the other gets louder, which is exactly why hormone symptoms can suddenly feel relentless, no matter which hormones you're working with. Next, getting sick more than you used to. Allergies that are noticeably worse. Sinus congestion with no actual infection behind it. Slow recovery after being ill. Cold that lingers on for weeks. New sensitivity to smells or chemicals that never bothered you before. That's the kind of rundown that never really lets up. When your immune system is already busy putting out fires, it overreacts to everything else. That's why every bug going around finds you first. Last one, and it's the one most people talk about. That weight that just won't budge no matter what you do. Water retention, especially around the midsection. Sugar and carb cravings you genuinely cannot shake. Blood sugar crashes between meals. You get shaky, irritable, or hangry. Belly fat creeping up with no real change in your diet. That's the kind of frustration that makes you just want to give up trying. That stubborn midsection weight, it's not a willpower problem. It's often inflammation keeping insulin high. And high insulin makes fat burning almost impossible, no matter how hard you try. If you counted 5, 10, 15 or more of these, I want you to hear this. You're not making it up and you're not alone. That's not a coincidence. That's a pattern. And patterns are exactly what functional health looks at, instead of waiting for one lab value to cross a line on a page. I put together a free hidden inflammation checklist. Now it's not the whole list of 40, it's a short personal assessment. You answer a few questions, it scores your answers, and it tells you what your own result might mean. The link for it is in the description below, and I've also put it in a pinned comment. Grab it. It takes about 2 minutes. And tell me in the comments how many of today's 40 you counted. I'm curious how many you have. If this helped you connect some dots, subscribe. I'm going to be doing a deep dive like this every week. And hit that bell because I don't want you to miss when I post my next video. I'm Mindy Kidder for My Heart for Health, and I'll see you in the next one.